What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Golden 83, and I am here to do the general sneak peek for Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, hope you guys are doing well. You guys are second on the zodiac lineup this week. Okay, back after a long, feels like it was long, but it really wasn't. It was only like 2 weeks. Vacation. Okay. Um, and I don't really call it a vacation primarily because it's just primarily to help me cleanse the energy on this side and you guys to work on your energy on your side, okay? Um, Remember, you guys, these are general messages, not personal. So take what resonates and pass the rest to the next, okay? So, like I said, hopefully you guys have cleansed your energy since last month. If you need help with that, by all means, go check out the monthly manifestation for June, okay? So you can work on whatever it is you're manifesting, or in reference to cleansing your energy, there could be a message there for you, okay? So, with that being said, you guys know how the general reads go. We're going to pull 5 cards, 2 from the top, 2 from the bottom, and 1 energetically from the middle. Okay. We're not referring to the bottom as we have everything we need on the top here. Okay. So let's see what's going on with you, Aquarius. We have the Ace of Swords. Okay. We have the 9 of Swords. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Empress. And we have the Sun. Okay. So Ace of Swords just was in the Taurus reading, which was actually in the middle here, okay? So just, you don't have to be dealing with a Taurus, but there is some Pentacle energy here, which is Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? You could have Taurus in your chart or dealing with a Taurus. You don't have to be, but I just go ahead and mention that anyway, okay, as far as the association. All right, so let's get started with this Ace of Swords, okay? Something being spoken on, okay, right off the gate, okay? You're receiving some type of information from someone. It is just hard, honest truth, okay? Possibly in reference to a particular person, okay? To start off your week, okay? We'll use the clarifiers to see what is possibly going on, or it could come out throughout the week, okay? So definitely watch all of your readings this week if possible, okay? So we then have the 9 of Swords, which is talking about, being really in your head, worrying about something, okay? Maybe something that was told to you is keeping you up at night, okay? Some restless, sleepless nights for you, Aquarius. Maybe I'm hearing stuck between a rock and a hard place type of vibe, okay? With 2 women here, okay? Or we'll say feminine energy, okay, as I don't like to base it off of gender, okay, but 2 feminine energies here for you, Aquarius, okay, get in where you fit in, okay. But we have the Queen of Pentacles here, okay, some form of an offer, okay, standing here, okay. You may have made an offer to someone, okay, or want to connect with this particular person, okay, but something is in the way or someone is in the way, meaning the Empress, okay, which could be a motherly figure is in the way of this relationship, okay, or may not really condone the relationship in a sense, okay, or it could be that you seek the advice or approval of a motherly figure about this person. Okay. Either you have made an offer to someone or someone is making an offer to you, but I feel like you are, wanting to be with someone. Um, but this motherly figure may or may not approve. Okay. We do have the sun here, okay, at the end, okay, where there will be some light shed on a situation, okay. Now it could go a bevy of ways, various ways for you, okay, where your what you thought would be a hard conversation with this authority figure, this your motherly figure, they end up actually liking this person, okay, and so it works out well, okay. Um, Usually, parents tend to really get involved with who their children are dealing with. Primarily, especially if you're like the only child, son or daughter, doesn't matter if you're the only child. And usually, with any child, really, it can happen, but only children get it the worst. Okay. um, I was the only child for a very long time, and so I know exactly what it's like for a parent to kind of step in where they really shouldn't. Okay, they have to understand that you make your own choices and you have to live your own life. Okay, but if this is a situation where you're talking about marriage possibly or something like that, then yes, you would hope that they would be able to get along with your significant other. But if this is just a relationship, this is just my personal stance on it. Usually I do not introduce anyone to my mother or parent until I know it's going to be very serious, very long-standing, very stable relationship. Like I said, marriage, like marriage material. Other than that, if I can possibly avoid it as much as possible, I do. Okay, because you never know what could happen within the relationship. Things may happen, you may separate, not wishing that or saying that you will, but you have to take that into account. And so I do that to avoid attachment, okay, by my family or things like that. I just don't do it until I know for sure, okay. And so that just avoids having that awkward conversation of introducing them to my parent. Um, because usually, especially only children, get it the worst. They find something to be wrong because no one will ever be good enough, no matter what you say. They could have all the money in the world, they could have the most stable job, they could have everything going for them. They could have a car, they could have everything, and your parent could still come out and say, well, they don't dress right, or they don't smell right, or they seem to do X, Y, and Z. They find the most little minuscule thing to point out about this person, or they promised me they would do this and they didn't do it. So it's always something that they're going to find wrong with the person that you choose, because no one will ever be good enough for you, okay. And it's sometimes can be very overbearing, so to avoid those kind of situations, it's usually best to leave the parents out until you really know that this is someone that you want to be with, okay. That just saves you from going through that type of communication. All right, so that being said, let's get into your clarifiers here. We do the same with one from the top for the Ace of Swords, second from the top for the Nine of Swords, one from the bottom for the Queen of Pentacles, second from the bottom for the Empress, and then one energetically from the middle for the Sun. Okay. So let's see what's in your clarifiers here. Okay. So Ace of Swords is being clarified by the Prince of Pentacles. Okay. Prince of Pentacles with the Ace of Swords. Okay, like I said, someone coming offering some words of value and truth, okay, with this Prince of Pentacles here, okay, some form of offer of some truth and honesty, okay. I'm getting this vibe of maybe someone wanting to meet your parent, okay, possibly. Maybe you've been dealing with them for a certain amount of time and they really are adamant about meeting your family, or as far as like your immediate family, things of that nature. Maybe you've already met theirs, and so they feel like it's high time that they met yours, okay. um, you have to respectfully let them know, where you stand with that, okay. um, and that may be where your anguish is with this Nine of Swords, is worrying about how that communication may go. Could be based off of things that have happened in the past, with other relationships. So you kind of have to set that tone with that person to let them know, like, hey, it's not that I don't want you to meet my mother or my father or my parents or whatever. It's never goes over very easy with with them. So I'm kind of putting it off for right now. It could be in a sense of you buttering, your parent up to meet this person, to talk about all the good things about them, so that way they don't find any negative things about them. Okay, and so they have to be respectful of that. Okay, so some form of really honest communication between you and this person. Okay, and that is what I'm feeling. Okay, so now we go on to the Nine of Hearts with the Nine of Swords. Okay, double nine. Okay, coming up on some form of completion. Okay, Nine of Cups is usually in the Rider's Waite. Regular Rider's Waite is someone with cups, 9 cups behind them, looking very secure. Okay, you may be battling with the fact of whether or not if you should keep the relationship pretty much to yourself. Okay, not in the sense of being by yourself, okay, but just in a sense of maybe I should, like I just said, keep it under wraps for the moment, because you have more sanity that way than releasing what's going on, okay, after you have the communication with your person, okay. And hopefully they will be very understanding of where you're coming from, because I would think and hope that they would want to come off as, a good choice, to your parent, okay, or parents, because we always want to be our best selves when we're meeting someone else's family, okay. And it's a very big deal, when you do that. And like I said before, if you're constantly dating new people all the time, all of them have met your parents, you're doing something is very wrong, okay. it, if you're only seeing, and you should be able to evaluate your relationship with someone, if you're with them for 3 months and they don't seem like take them home to meet the parents type vibe, then they shouldn't be meeting your parents, okay. If someone goes into a relationship with high expectations of your marriage material or you're worth meeting my parents for, it's a bit much. If we did that, it would be, I'm sorry to say it, but a shit show, okay. So you have to use your discernment on who you introduce your parents to. I learned that the hard way years ago when I first started really dating, is that I did not want to introduce my parents to anybody that I was dating, even a crush. I wouldn't even do that. I hated doing that or having it come out, because it's very overwhelming energy, where they're just automatically protective. As soon as you start liking the opposite sex, or someone for that matter, when you're even a child, they are on you like white on rice, like, oh my God, they're liking someone now, they like boys now, they like girls now, and then there goes the conversation about sex and all this other. It's very uncomfortable. It really is a very rough transition when you're dating and your parents are involved. I can understand the safety reasons for it. Like if you're going on a trip with someone or if you're starting to live with someone, then yes, that's when, by that time, yes, they should know who you're dating, in a sense of making sure you express boundaries between you and your relationship and your parents. Okay, so that way they don't intervene um, in something that they shouldn't. Okay. But like if you're going up far away, like to another country with someone, then yes, so that way your parents know who you're with. Yes, for safety reasons. But outside of that, just always interfering in your relationships, you need to set boundaries. Okay. And so that's where I think we are with this Nine of Swords and this Nine of Cups. Setting boundaries. Okay. With the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Five of Hearts. Okay. Five of Hearts is Five of Cups. Okay. There is going to be a little bit of disappointment when you tell your person this. Okay. Possibly where they're not going to understand. They're going to feel as though you don't feel like they're, meet the parents worthy. Okay. Like they're not worthy of meeting your parents. And again, you have to express to them it's not about that. It's about what I go through when I introduce someone to my parents. Okay. They have to understand, and yes, they can be a support system and be there for you during the meeting of the parents, but it's a very big deal. Okay. And they also have to understand what that big deal means. There's no marriage associated with it. Okay. If there's no marriage and it's just a sustainable relationship, not to say that they don't want their parent, you don't want their parent to like you or anything like that. It's just that your parent finds something wrong with them every time. Okay. And so you're very nervous. It gives you anxiety to even tell them without your person, that, hey, I am dating someone now. It's been pretty serious from about 6 months to a year. I think this person might be the one. And who knows? Your parent comes out and says, well, you said that about the last one. And look what happened. She cheated on you, or he cheated on you, or they ran off and disappeared, or whatever the case may be. So, and if you're always getting your past thrown in your face, it's a whole deal. Okay, it's a whole ordeal. So this person needs to, not so much look at the disappointment of not being able to make that, sign of commitment just from meeting the family alone. There may be a reason why they're not, that you're not letting them meet your parents, or vice versa. Get in where you fit in. Okay. So that being said, let's keep moving forward with this Empress card. Strength. Okay. Strength with the Empress here. Okay. You may have to have a conversation with your parent as well. Okay. Or parents. Okay. And just tell them, and be upfront and honest and say, yes, I'm dating someone, especially if they already know, and let them know they want to meet you, but I'm, not really ready for that just yet if you're going to do X, Y, and Z. And you do it respectfully, and they are going to have to exude some strength to not be judgmental of the person. Okay. And again, it's kind of putting you between a rock and a hard place, because this person is only thinking about their feelings about the situation because you've met theirs. Okay. And maybe you've met, it may not even be parents. Sometimes you may have met just their friends and not their parent. Okay. And for them to want to meet your parent before meeting theirs, that kind of looks like a red flag in my opinion, but nonetheless, that's for another reason. Okay. But your parent is going to have to exude some form of strength not to go into judgment mode about your person. Okay. Next, we have the Sun with the Six of Hearts. Okay. The Sun with the Six of Hearts. Okay. Six of Hearts meaning Six of Cups, talking about sharing. Okay. And with this sun being here, it's talking about shedding some light on some things with both of these feminine energies here. Okay. And so where truth is going to be revealed, it's going to be sharing of opinions, and it could, like I said, end up going over very well, where all that worrying was for nothing, or um, sharing your opinion with both parties before they actually meet um, actually gives you a peace of mind, okay, eventually. And they have to understand, and anyone should understand, that it's about the person who has to go through the experience, okay, and you're the one in the middle. It's going to always be hard to satisfy both sides, okay, and both sides have to realize that it's not about them, it's about you, okay, Aquarius. So, with that being said, let's get into your elemental oracle here. I'm going to shuffle one more time and then we'll cut to get your final advice. Okay. All right. So, we'll do an energetic pull here for you, Aquarius. We'll go here with it. Okay. Aquarius, disciplined in time, 41, equaling out to 5. Okay. Some form of change. Okay. Changing with the times here. Okay. And disciplining yourself. Okay. It's time for a change. Okay. You've done things in a certain way for a certain amount of time. It's time for you to change. Okay. And this may be the time for you to do it. Okay. Time is your word, I guess, for this reading and possibly for the week. Okay. Time to look at things from a different perspective. Okay. It's time to start making those changes. If you ever heard the saying of break the generational curses, okay, that's something that has to happen with you. Okay. It's something that possibly your mother also or father went through, as well as meeting the parents, what they had to go through in dealing with that. They probably went through the same thing, and it's something that's learned. Okay, it's a habit that's learned. It's time to break those habits. Okay, and you may be the one to have to do it. Okay, so use your time wisely. If you feel like it's not the right time yet, then say so and state the reason why you don't feel like it's the right time. It can have to do with physical time. Okay, you have work, you have things that you have to do, so does your person. Okay, it's about finding the right time to do things. Okay, and maybe a certain amount of time needs to go over before you have this meeting. Okay, and having time to talk to each side first. All of it takes time. Okay, this element is air. Okay, it says time, discipline. Find out the causes of your procrastination or resistance. Do not miss your opportunities. Someone is wasting your time. Be aware of this. You have finite time on this planet, so use it well. Okay, so like I just said, use your time wisely. It's time for a change. From what I'm seeing in this card, it's time for things to change. Okay, your word of power is disciplinatus, which is Latin for discipline. Okay, so in one sentence that's in here, it does say, we normally refer to time and what it can do for us and what it means. Okay, and I'm looking just at a few other sentences in here. Time is an important element in the way it combines with other elements: the speed of light, the velocity of an object, space, time, and gravity. Okay? But again, use your time wisely and remember, not just about time, but it's your time. It should be based on your time, not everybody else's. Okay? That's the takeaway from this. Okay? So, with that being said, Aquarius, that's all that I have for you guys this week. You know, we have 4 more readings to go. So, until then, peace.